Hi, this is Cindy teaching you how to make a face mask with ties and an opening for an additional filter. You can easily make a bunch of masks at one time with this pattern. 4 different size masks will fit most people's faces. Man is 10 inch by 7 inch, woman 9 inch by 6 inch, teen 8 inch by 5.5 inch, and child 7 inch by 5 inch. Some women fit the teen size mask just the way some teens will fit into either the woman or the man size masks. I'll be explaining the 9 inch by 6 inch mask, which is the woman's size. So the first thing you need to do is cut the fabric after you've decided which size is right for you. So I cut 2 pieces of 9 inch by 6 inch and 1 piece 9 inch by 9 inch. For any of the other sizes, you'll cut out 2 of the size masks and 1 square with the largest dimension. For example, if you're going to make a man's mask, you would cut out 2 10 inch by 7 inch pieces and 1 10 inch by 10 inch piece. You will also need to cut 2 ties measuring between 34 to 36 inches in length and 1.5 inches in width. If you're making a lot of ties, you can cut lots of strips 1.5 inches wide, sew the ends together, and then cut them into 34 to 36 inch lengths. To make the ties, you're going to take a bias tape maker, and that's the bias tape maker, and feed the fabric into the bias maker. Once it comes out the other end, you iron the fabric to make the bias. Here it is going through. I used a pin to help guide it through. Then you take the iron and iron it down. I had already cut this into a 34 inch piece. And so once that is all ironed, you're going to fold it in half and iron it again. And this will help when you need to put the tie onto the mask. Now you're going to iron the 2 9x6 and the 9x9 piece of material, and then you'll take one of the 9x6s and iron it in half, and the 9x9 and iron it in half. It's better to have 2 separate fabric styles so you can tell which is the front and which is the back. Once it's folded and ironed, you're ready to assemble the mask. You'll place the flat 9x6 right side up on the ironing board. Place the folded 9x6 on the bottom of the flat 9x6 with the raw edges lining up. Then place the folded 9x9 on top of the flat 9x6, once again with the raw edges lining up. You're ready to begin sewing now. You can pin the top and the bottom to hold the raw edges together, or just hold it in place. It depends upon your comfort level with sewing. You'll notice that I do not backstitch the seams. I don't need to do this because I'll be sewing seams over the seams, which will do the same thing as the backstitching later on. Head over to the ironing board to iron the seams flat and turn the material to hide the seams and the wrong side of the 9x6 fabric. You'll need to make sure that the 9x3 piece of fabric is folded over first so that the 9x4.5 will be on top of the 9x3. Once everything is all nicely ironed, flat, and you're ready to go, head over to the sewing machine again because you'll be stitching around the entire mask. This stitching around the entire mask will hold the fabric in place for when you put the tucks in. Once again, I did not backstitch because it will be having other things go over it at another time to hold it in place. Once you're done stitching around the whole mask, you'll trim the raw edges even so it makes it easier to put the ties on. The next step is putting tucks. You can either use Wonder Clips or pins. I tend to use Wonder Clips because it's faster and easier. When making the tucks in the fabric, make sure the side with the filter is on the bottom. You'll make 2 tucks of approximately a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. Once you have both tucks in, the mask will measure approximately 9 by 3. I tend to use sewing clips because it's just easier and it takes less time. Pins work just as well. Now that you have tucks in the mask, it's time to put the ties. You'll take one tie and center the tie in the middle of the 2 tucks. You're going to wrap the tie around both sides of the mask. That way the tie will cover the raw edges and secure the tie with the clips or the pins. Now you're going to want to make sure to fold over the end and fold it together, and that way it will have a nice finished look to the end. You'll sew the seam. This is one place where I do backstitch because nothing else is going to be holding it. Once again, you can either pin the fold in place or you can just hold it in place and stitch it. When you get down to the mask itself, this is the other place that I go and backstitch. I backstitch each section because this is the area that will have the most tugging and pulling on it. So I go over where each of the pleats are as well to make sure it's well secured. Once again, fold over the end of the tie to make a finished end and backstitch at the end, the way that you did at the very start of making the tie. You'll do this for the other side of the mask, and once you've done both sides with the ties, you'll have a completed mask. It's really a lot of fun, and once you have lots of different fabrics, you can play with the different colors and themes and things like that and make it really nice. So enjoy and happy sewing!